write a speech on that next time.
May I have your attention, please? The airport is officially closed due to the severity of the weather. Flights will resume once the airport reopens. Please check with your carrier as to the status of your flight and to reschedule if necessary. Have you ever been stuck in an airport? Well, I have, and it was by intent. My family has been traveling from our home here in Connecticut to our vacation home on the west coast of Canada for the last 10 years. We can be door to door in 23 hours, but it takes some doing. We fly out of JFK on a red-eye, departing around 11 p.m., land in Vancouver at 2 a.m. Now, I didn't mention, but we travel with our dog. So by the time we clear customs and walk her and feed her, it's probably 3 a.m. Now, our next flight takes off at 8 a.m. from another terminal, so we have to catch a shuttle at 7. So you do the math. We have maybe 3 or 4 hours to catch a little sleep, and it's not worth booking an airport, a hotel for 4 hours. So we sleep in the airport. Now, for us, it's only 4 hours. If you've been watching the news recently, there were 10 people that were stuck in the St. Louis airport for 4 days after the tornado struck. They found all the hotels were booked, and they had to stay in the airport. It's not unheard of these days because the airlines are booked to capacity, and there are fewer flights. So realistically, you have to be aware that it could be 3 or 4 days before you're able to get out. In that case, I have some tips for you. I call them terminal basics. And with a little preparation, you'll still ensure your safety, your security, and your comfort. Now, first off, safety. If you're traveling alone, one of the things that you need to consider is that you don't want to go off in a corner where you might not be too safe. You want to stay in a more congested area of the airport where there's perhaps security cameras. If you're traveling in a group, however, you can go off and find a quieter corner where you might be able to get a little bit more rest and relaxation. Now, security. Number 2, security. You might be concerned while you're sleeping, what about your luggage? Is somebody going to take off with your luggage? Well, there are some devices on the market that can ensure the security of your luggage. One is this cable type of alarm. You can take the cable, run it through the handles of your luggage, and if somebody were to come along and cut the cable, it would set off an audible alarm. Now, you might think this is kind of big, but this is actually size for kayaks. The size for luggage is actually just the size of the sticker. There's another type of device that's a transmitter receiver. You put the transmitter in your luggage, and the receiver you hold on to. You can set it for a certain perimeter, and if that luggage moves beyond that perimeter, an audible alarm goes off. We use a third type. As I said earlier, we travel with our dog, Tassus. Now, Tassus is a Leonberger. She's 110 pounds, and she's quite an experienced traveler. She's been traveling since she was a puppy, twice a year. She's 8 now, so she's gotten used to the routine and all the ambient noises in the airport. We pile our luggage around us, we put a blanket down, and Tassus curls up on the blanket and goes off to sleep with me holding onto her leash. And pretty much she sleeps through the night with no issues. This Christmas, however, I awoke to woof, woof. And as I got up, I saw 2 people scurrying away. Now, they may have just been curious as to what was in that great big huge kennel. Or maybe they had something more nefarious in mind. Whatever. They exceeded Tassus's perimeter, and her alarm went off. So she was just as effective as those other 2 devices. Thirdly, I want to talk about your comfort. Ideally, you want to have 3 benches without an armrest in between them so you can stretch out and relax. 4 is even better. You might want to consider bringing a pillow. If you can't fit a pillow in your backpack, you might just wrap up a sweater in a ball and use that. I always want to have a blanket. It gets pretty cool in the airport at night, and I like this fleece bag. But it's kind of bulky. You might consider using a foil blanket, emergency blanket. This is quite effective and quite small. Anybody can carry that with them. You also have to consider that the lights are on in the airport 24/7. So I always carry a handy eye shade with me, and that makes it quite nice for getting to sleep easily. The other thing that you need to consider, in some airports, there are announcements all night long, every 15 minutes. Don't leave your car unattended at the curb. Don't leave your luggage unattended. That can be really annoying and make it difficult to sleep. So I carry earplugs with me as well. My kids use their iPod, the MP3 players or iPod. Finally, you don't want to forget to set your alarm so you don't miss your next flight. Cell phones have a handy alarm function on them. So remember these terminal basics the next time you travel. With a little preparation, if you get stuck in an airport, you can be safe, secure, and comfortable. Mr. Toastmaster?